Okay, so we're on to masking the canopy now, and for me, it's always Tamiya tape for this task. All I do is take a section of that, put it on the bench, and then cut really thin strips, about 1/2 mil to 1 mil. And then what we can do is just take these and just apply them around the frame lines. Let's get that tucked up into the angle of the frame. Just gradually bending it, and that's the beauty of this tape. It does bend if you cut it thin enough, which is great. And then using a new scalpel blade or a very sharp one, and so I always think that's important for canopy work like this. Just onto the canopy and just gently pop that down the angle. That's that, and then we'll come along the back. If you're just careful, don't press too hard, just be subtle about it. There's a lot of control doing it this way, which is what I like. There are different ways, loads of guys do different stuff, but that's what I do. If you make a bit of a mistake, as you can see there, that's not quite the right angle. Just gently pull it off, go back, pull it back to just where it was correct, and it was there. And then just bring that round in a nice curve like that. A little extra bit might be useful somewhere down the line, and then just grab another piece. In this case I'm just taking a slightly thicker piece, just to go around the front. Because it's a straighter curve, if that's kind of not a weird thing to say. Yeah, unlike a windscreen, say, on the front of the canopy, which we'll have a look at in due course. So it's quite nice, that's just gone round. Again, just popping that into the angle. Just cut off any excess. Like that. And then you might well find that here, you've just, as you've gone around the curve, that's just sort of rucked up a little bit. So just with a cocktail stick, if you just gently work those little creases, for want of a better way of describing them, they disappear, usually. That will certainly be good enough to spray and still leave a nice sharp line, because that's obviously what we're after. Okay, so the thinner you make this piece of tape, the less likely that is to happen. And so you can see now we've got our outline. That's nice and straightforward. So then all I do is I tend to take the roll of Tamiya tape, just pull off a section like this, pop it on the bench, and just cut it up, just freehand with the scalpel blade, into little sections like that. And then all we do is transfer those to the model. I don't know, as I said, there really are loads of different ways you can mask canopies. A lot of people I know like to use masking fluid and all sorts of other things, and fine, if that's what you want to do. You know, I'm not making any judgment about any of those other methods particularly, other than for me, I just find that this one gives me loads of flexibility and is quick, and it just never fails. Honestly, it just never ever fails. Sometimes the masking fluid, I don't know, it's a bit messy. It's not impossible. Manage it and it should be fine, but I don't know. For me, there's just something about, yeah, do this, and because it's Tamiya tape, I know it's going to stay stuck. It's not going to lift unless I fiddle about with it for too much time. Sometimes that can happen if you get rid of the adhesion just by fiddling with it, then or handling it too much. Then it's not brilliant. And as you can see, you know, as you then get into some of the angles, you could just use progressively smaller pieces of masking tape. I've just pre-cut all sorts of little squares and smaller sections, just so when I get to this, I haven't got to fiddle about trying to do the cutting as well. And there you go. I mean, so that's it. That's the main canopy section done. It's pretty quick. I've watched it. I kept the video running because I thought it'd be useful just to see this in real time. And then, of course, we need to just, well, on a small scale model like this, 48 scale and below, generally, I won't bother masking the inside of the canopy and then spraying the inside of the framing. I think on anything bigger, you really probably should do that, because you're going to see, if you look carefully, this rather shiny interior. If you just allow the what will be green in this case, which is the internal canopy colour, but to show through from the outside, I mean, that's enough to be fine in this sort of scale. But when you get bigger and bigger frames, it just it's going to look, I think, a bit naff. Spot that little shiny reflection back there. Just spotted. I missed a tiny little spot there. Just there we go. That's still there. So because we are not going to worry about any shiny internal framing on this small scale model, I'm just going to get some bits of Tamiya tape and just put them in here so they cover the edges like so, because we don't want to get any overspray when we spray the canopy on the inside of that nice beautifully clear canopy from Hobby Boss. I think they've done a great job with it, to be honest. It's lovely and clear. There's a kind of a decking that goes into that attaches to this upper portion of the rear part of the canopy, which has got to go in as well. We'll do that later too. So there we go. That's it. And then all I do is get a cocktail stick with a piece of blue tack or some other sticky putty on it, and just pop that in there like so, and we're good to go. We're just ready to spray that now. So that's how I do canopies. What I will do in a minute, I'll just show you how we deal with slightly more tricky operation, which is these front windscreens, you know, where you get this curved section here. So I'll come back, I'll give you a separate video for that, and we'll just run through how we do that.